growing up wasn't always easy for me, and it has been very challenging when it comes to trying to deal with depression and anger. We have been discussing those things about depression and anger and things like that, but there's plenty of days, if not every other day, is when I feel like I'm not complete. And what I mean by that is like it's not nothing against my family or anything with my wife and kids or anything like that. It's more of a internal self, like my own my spiritual realm. If you actually understand what I'm saying, because I'm starting to trying to get back into reading the Bible more and trying to be more the spiritual leader inside of my household because I honestly believe, even also it says in the Bible that men should be the leaders, the guides, and everything else, along with being a spiritual leader, um, as Christians and things like that. But it's just like I've always have like these doubts and these anxiety moments when I just think like I'm not good enough or I'm not speaking out more or trying to explain how I truly feel because as long as I can remember, I've always had buried my true feelings of what I wanted or what I think what I think things should happen. And what I mean by that because it's I hate dealing with drama. I hate dealing with the fact that I really don't like expressing my feelings because I don't want to get angry because I know where it goes whenever I get angry. It takes me a really long time to calm me down. I gotta take breathers, and then I had to like rethink of my actions. And um, most of the time, I think that it's just a waste of time. And what I mean by a waste of time is that a waste of time of trying to deal with things for me because I just I don't see myself as first. I've always see well, growing up as a kid under my parents' household, or whatever, I've always had seen my siblings first before me because I was always been taught that as the oldest I have to lead by example because my siblings are going to do the things that I'm going to do. Not saying that my father had tried to pressure me, even though those are actual good things, but I took it to a level where I never thought about myself. Never did. And that trickled down into my marriage. And I'm starting to try to like think about me more, but I can't do that because I gotta think about my wife. I gotta think about my kids. I gotta think about the mortgage. I gotta do X, Y, and Z. And that's where a lot of men actually go through a daily basis because we don't talk about this stuff. We don't. It's not discussed as often as it should because us as men, we have to be the problem solvers. We have to be um, the strength whenever people are weak at, which is a good thing. But it can be destructive if it's not being talked about or being dealt with in a proper way. And it is very discouraging when it comes to that because a lot of men do need someone to talk to, like especially like in men's spaces because from my personal experience, so it's like whenever I talk to my mom about my feelings or talk to my sister, it it feels weird because like they will say they will understand, but they don't know what I'm going through. Whenever I talk to my dad, it's like it's a different feeling because like, he had gone through it, and I'm not really sure he's still going through it as of right now. But me seeing him, me as a kid, I've seen him gone through it, and me me personally, I don't want to go through who the same path, but I feel like it's gonna go down there because like I mean I don't know. I mean I'm not trying to like say my dad was a bad person. It just that's how life is, you know. But whenever I say that I'm not okay, but I'm okay, it's it's a form of me accepting the fact that I probably never going to be 100% happy or 100% mad or 100% anything, because there always has to be a balance, yin and yang. You can't have more of the anger without any happiness. You can't have more happiness without any anger. It's a form. It's almost like, you know, the Force in Star Wars, whatever. You can't have a lot of people on the light side, but it has to be a balance on the dark side. That's, you know, my little my belief, because I really do believe that. But it 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 really is important to actually know how to handle that. Um, I didn't really plan on how I was going to plan out this video. I really wanted to talk about, you know, something else, but this had really was like really heavy on my chest, because it's just like I've been recently, I have been lost on what I wanted to do. If you guys follow me on my other channel, on my reaction channel, I've actually mentioned it a couple times that I got demonetized because I was told that I was using reused content, etc., etc. But whenever that had happened, I felt like a piece of me was lost. Now, again, like I'm glad that I don't actually, I'm not really relying on that channel as like actual income. It was just, you know, a side hobby of what I really on what I really like doing. But it just like it really felt like I had failed, and it felt like everything was just crumbling down. And then I felt more angry. I felt more depressed. I felt more sad. I talked to my wife about it plenty of times, but it just like I know there's times when I can't really say it or speak of it every time, because like things has to get done. As far as me going to work, paying the bills, got to make sure I'm at work on time. Got to make sure that the kids are straight. Got to make sure that she's straight. But it's I can't say it's hard for me to find time for myself, because there are times when I want to like sometimes just sit there and then just cry, because I want to take out all of my stress all at once, because I don't want to get angry and let everything explode, because I don't want to get I don't want to be destructive. I've dealt with that when I was younger. I dealt with that like 5 to 6 years ago. I just don't want to do that again. I just don't want to go. I don't want to go backwards to being the old me, just punching everything, thinking that I could just punch my feelings aside, and then just like not even just deal with it, and then just ignore it, because like that would just make things worse. All of my friends that I've grew bonds with, they're not in the States. Now I do have my boy at work named KD. He is a really good friend, but like for the ones who have known me, you know, growing up and things like that, I don't talk to them as much, if not at all, because you know they have their own lives to deal with, and then I haven't seen them in a very long time. So it's it is what it is, man. Honestly, I mean, I'm okay of not being okay. I'm okay dealing with this. I'm okay about what it is, but I am okay.